We zijn live.
Niet helemaal, maar goed. In today's episode, we dive in the world of SAP Integration at Rabobank. Integration is the heart of every successful transformation, connecting systems, people and processes. And Rabobank has been on a fascinating journey to make this all work seamlessly. Integration is also the top use case of our favorite platform, Jan. It's, of course, SAP
Business Technology Platform.
B2B. Connecting...
Did I get points?
Yeah,
Awesome.
you heard the bell, right? Connecting and unifying complex IT landscapes across on-premise and cloud systems. And just once more, let's say just once more, an intelligent enterprise is an...
Integrated enterprise.
Very good. Yeah, and today in our cafe, I'm really happy that I can welcome two heroes.
Who are today's heroes?
Because we have two special guests with us today, Gaurav and Dava Tankarash, who will share their insights, challenges and lessons learned from building and running integration at scale in a complex environment. So grab your coffee or tea and settle in, and let's get started with this conversation at SAP Integration at Rabobank. Welcome to Hana Café, the Netherlands.
Hammer Café Nederland is your one-stop shop for all things SAP. Grab yourself a coffee or tea and join regulars Jan Penninkhof
Goedemiddag.
and Tom van der Broek
That's me.
with their guests as they chat about latest developments, innovations, events or simply catch up. Let's head inside.
Welcome Gaurav.
Thank you.
Welcome Dana.
Thank you.
That's short for the name that I just tried to pronounce right. Was it a little bit okay?
Dava, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
For you guys, yeah.
Welcome Jan.
Welkom Twan.
So we made it without internet connection today, but we'll publish the episode later.
Without internet connection, without live and without the uniform.
I have.
Ja. Well done.
Yeah. So maybe to explain the customer that you of the customer the company you are working for, Gaurav, is Rabobank.
Yeah.
How big is the Rabobank in the Netherlands?
Rabobank. Statistically, is the third largest bank in Netherlands.
Statistically, what do you mean with that?
Yeah, so we have two other big players, but this Rabobank, as you know, it's more farmers bank or cooperative bank,
Yeah.
unlike other two labels, another orange label and green label.
Yeah. We don't talk about them today. No, no. But very, very nice of you to show up. And I think integration is an important topic. It's what I just said. The biggest use case also from B2B. Is it still the biggest use case, or are we now more in AI, Jan?
AI first.
Yeah, that's of course what we need to say as SAP. But I think integration is the use case for B2B. But in our podcast, we talk also about a lot of things that you can do with B2B. But today, integration. So how big is integration at Rabobank?
Big, that's subjective basically,
Yeah.
but it is complex, I would say.
Yeah. Can you describe how your integration landscape looks like at your company?
Before that, I'll just give you a brief what kind of application setup that we have.
Yeah.
So we use SAP Banking Services, which is industry-specific business suite. That is our digital core. And we are positioned that application as a back office application. So above that, we also have a front office system where the customer goes to the bank and do their transactions, daily needs that they need for banking perspective. Then we have a mid office applications where do all the mutations, validations, contractual things. And after that, if everything goes through these two layers, and then it goes to the back office where we use SAP Banking Services. So you can imagine that there are two systems above to us where we need to integrate with, and it's a ERP system, and our system is mostly 97% STP. So we don't believe in manual processing. It's only
What's STP?
straight through processing.
Just to
so-
be sure.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a higher degree of STP, straight through processing. Currently, so 98% of our business processes goes via APIs.
It means
comes out
that
of the
no
box.
humans is in the loop anymore.
Yes. Only in the exception scenario, then the manual process kicks in.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that to achieve the degree, 98% of STP degree, it needs some effort and quite some integration basically.
Yeah.
So that can give you an idea how complex and how efficient integration that we have in our place.
Yeah. And probably also secure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
Yeah,
We are
of course,
financial
but
institutions. So
exactly. That's what I thought about that. And you mentioned SAP Banking Services. Is that an add-on to ECC or S4, or what is Banking Services?
So basically, I think you can say it's a spin-off from the utility thing. So SAP IS, basically for utilities. We have also ECC, which is work in combination with this, but banking services is not ECC. It's a complete different code base, mostly industry specific, IS util.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you said, industry specific, it is developed only for financial or banking institutions, insurance also.
Yeah. But then the functional solution is different, but the technical layer is the same as...
So that's the underlying, as we call it, as a digital core. Yeah. But if we talk about the integration, is still the same, that it is, currently we are using SAP PO as our integration layer. We are in process of moving towards the integration suite. But from integration point of view, it doesn't change what is behind it. And that's the beauty of the integration, that what sits above, what sits down, it doesn't matter. It is all absorbed in the integration layer.
Which might have different challenges, though, than people that are just integrating the regular digital core, right? Because most of the times you're talking about S4HANA. And S4HANA got a huge amount of APIs when it was since its inception. And I believe the industry solutions is not... it's partially S4 based, but might not have all the APIs that the regular digital core has.
Definitely. So as industry specific, so the APIs are quite use case based. So it's not like generic APIs that you can use for different purposes. So in that way, yes. And also the products which are in digital core, as you said, that S4HANA, you compare, there a lot of things are directly available out of the box on BTP platform that you can use as events or APIs from the API management. But here, everything sits in the backend, and then we need to have a use case based integration. So if you need, for example, create loan API that you won't see in the S4HANA stack, is specific to this. So yes, it's banking operations. So we have almost nothing which is available out of the box on the platform like BTP, which we can use as an integration. So we start from scratch.
So you have to build every API yourself, basically.
Backend services, as you call it in the SAP world, they are available, but again, not every backend services which are available. So we have quite some. I'll look towards Dava now. We have a lot of backend services which are also custom that we developed, but in consultation with SAP, that they accept that it as a generic API, not just Rabobank specific. So they take it into the kind of a wish list request and fill the gap in the future releases and bring it as a standard API.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what I forgot to mention is that, Gaurav, you are working as a solution architect at Rabobank, and you have 17 years of SAP experience and then 13 years of Rabobank experience. And you brought your colleague, or at least the colleague that you co-work with, Dava, but he has 19 years and 10 months of experience in SAP world. So that's an applause, right? Because it's almost 20 years, yes, almost. Yeah. But you're working at Cognizant, right? You are the partner of Rabobank. Yeah. Okay. So that's amazing. And what is then, if you look at integration at Rabobank, what is the history of integration at Rabobank?
I will let Dava speak about it, but before that, so you can say that because of this thing, the tenure that Dava has in Rabobank, that old is our integration. So he is the person
founder
who put the foundation of the integration in Rabobank for our department. Yeah,
it's an honor for us to have the founder of integration at Rabobank at the table.
At least for our department. We have several ones, but yeah.
Okay.
Instead of Dava, you can call him Mr. Integration, I suppose. It's easier as well.
Dava Integration.
So as Gaurav said, so within Rabobank we have different departments, and then our department is the lending and insurance department, and there we started this project for managing the mortgages with SAP Banking Services, and we started this project in 2010. So that's where we started the project, and I was one of the members who were from the beginning here. So we have a couple of more, so we are from the beginning here. And then at the beginning we started with XI for the integration. And then we moved to PA and then PO. Now we are in the process of moving it to the cloud integration.
Yeah. Okay. So few episodes back we had Paul van Os, and he even started with Business Connector. So it was also a nice integration background history that we could talk about then. Yeah. So you were using PO now and in the process of going to cloud integration. Is that integration suite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Integration suite,
Okay.
Cloud integration. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you purely focusing on cloud, or are you running things in the back in the on-premise as well?
No, purely in cloud.
Oh wow!
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no debate at argument about at Rabobank about data leaving the data centers and that sort of things.
No.
Because
sort of time.
security is a very big thing
Yes,
usually
yeah,
when we
yeah.
talk about financial institutions.
I
And
think we had that conversation initially.
Yeah, so basically that's we have a few cloud platforms that we did our intake and have our security posture that we made sure that it is in place for those cloud providers. We are on Azure, but also we have Amazon and Google in bank. So when we went into the cloud strategy, it is cloud first strategy and then multiple platform or multiple hyperscalers, not just logged in with one. And there was quite a rigorous intake process, and the gaps were identified, but together with the provider, it was bridged. And then we have a kind of our security posture is kind of enforced there in our tenants, which is for Rabobank.
Yeah.
So data leaving data center, it's still on a question that what kind of classification you put it on data. All depends on that. But across cloud, data can transfer because another application could be in Amazon and we are on Azure.
Yeah.
So that's possible. But with the right governance in place, this is arranged.
And I can imagine integration, as you already explained, is a big topic at Rabobank. Can you also put a number on it? How many messages are we talking about? Is that something that you have? Facts and figures. I should have asked this before, but
Let me recall, because this was recently I was putting it somewhere to present. I think we had 1.6 million calls in first half of this year, and that's only the synchronous call. Because we have two types of message patterns that we use. Basically, is asynchronous and synchronous. Asynchronous is primarily for the mutations. So if any create, change, update that you need to do, that goes via asynchronous, just to make sure that data is not lost if for some technical reasons. And the read services, where with the other application needs to have a current information on the loan for creating a mutation, for example, in mid-office, then those are the reads. So reads are itself 1.6 million, right?
Yeah.
And asynchronous is also ranging around like more than 300K.
yeah, some messages to process.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned also that it is for your department that you're talking about. Rabobank has probably more than one department, but how do you also have multiple departments that working on integration, or is it one integration department working for all departments at Rabobank?
No, so all the departments are autonomous, so they have their own setup, their own set of applications. So as you know, in BTP, you can only have one global account.
Yeah.
So we have one global account on Rabobank level, but then we, as a department, we work on sub-account levels, and every department is responsible for their own sub-account and integration and the services that we subscribe to under that sub-account.
But you do use the same technology, but you have your own sub-account.
Yeah.
It's not like another department, say, let's go for another integration solution, or let's stay on PI, for example, or PO.
Yeah, that's also on case-to-case basis, but till now the departments that are using SAP applications, like core applications, that are still trying to stick to the close to SAP ecosystem, but that's not kind of given. It's all depends, right? What are the requirements, what it comes out of the box, and based on that they take decisions.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I think we've talked a lot about integration in the past, not about integration at a bank. Is the integration at a bank different than integration at another customer, another company?
Yeah, one unique thing about integration, especially in our project, is so we have application to application interfaces, and we also have we need some composite services as well. So that was one of the unique thing which we developed here. So from the front end or the mid office, what they wanted is to do some process in the back end, and they make one call to our integration layer, and then the integration layer should take care of making multiple calls to the backend to perform the complete operation. So for example, creating a loan, we receive a request from the mid office or the front office, and then we have to create all the entities in the backend to fulfill that the loan was completely created. So we need to create the customer as a business partner, we need to create some technical loan accounts, clearing accounts, loan accounts, mandates. So there are a lot of steps which we have to do in the backend, and then we do have standard backend services available for most of the operations, and then if there are some standard services missing, then we also do create custom services after consultation with SAP, that there will be standard services provided in the future. And all these services has to be orchestrated, so we need to do the orchestration in the integration layer, and then once all these services were processed successfully, then we need to send a confirmation event back.
Okay. And is it a custom solution to do this orchestration? Or you're using an orchestration solution?
Currently, we have a SAP product called Process Object Builder, and we use that for the orchestration. But then when moving to cloud, then we wanted to make use of cloud integration as the orchestration layer. So that's also advantage for us, because previously we had PIPO, which is the entry point for all the requests, and then we have the orchestration layer, which is the POP. And now we are combining those two into one layer. So we will putting these two into the integration suite, cloud integration.
Yeah. But what you just explained also about, so you have multiple steps to kick off from the initial start. You could also say, hey, that's like an event, and maybe is event-driven architecture also something that's at the server?
It's more like a workflow. So it's not really an event, but you can see this. What they're trying to orchestrate at Rabobank is more like a workflow with decisions at a certain point in time. If a certain system needs to be invoked, it needs to go there and do its job there, and eventually come back with a result, and then that result is taken for the next step. So it's basically a workflow that you have to go through. And previously we had. It's more like it's not really a product. It's more like a framework that was set up by our services colleagues, which they called the process orchestration layer. If I'm not wrong.
Object layer. Yeah.
Process object layer, which was basically doing that. And that was something that we couldn't really.
Is that a layer then? Like if you mention workflow, I always expect a human in the loop. But
it's like the BPMN that we used to have in PO.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's more like a workflow in at the systems point of view, right? Yeah. I think very much tied to what you mentioned before, the straight through processing.
Yeah. So basically, this was if you see the SAP, the APIs are on the business object level, and our APIs that we publish to our front office or mid office applications, they are on business process level. So one business process can invoke multiple business objects. As Dava was saying, that if you want to create a loan, if you go and ask for a loan, you are interested in a loan, and the employee sitting behind the computer will provide the minimum information which was taken from the customer. But for SAP, in order to have the complete dossier in place, you need more information. Sometimes you need to derive information. Sometimes you need to read the information, because this is not provided by the front office. So that's why we have a complexity of this kind of complexity is there, but we don't want to expose this complexity with mid office, because mid office is providing what is needed, but SAP needs a little bit more. So then this whole orchestration comes in picture, and I agree with Jan said that it's more like a workflow, but it is sequential, and then you have a branching and all those several possibilities are there. And this particular tool was developed, I think, as per my knowledge, is only for financial industries basically, because it fits well in there.
Yeah. Okay. That could be used in other industries as well, but it's not really a product, so we didn't have it on the price list, and I think
it is. We have license for that one.
It's correct.
And now it's been discontinued.
It's on the mystery price list.
Yeah, so it's something that's not carried by the general organization, and this is why we didn't find any proper feeding grounds with so many customers as well, and this is why it's confined in the financial industry as well. But the thing is, of course, that when we went to Integration Suite, we had something quite similar, because in Integration Suite you have box scenarios as well, similar to what you have in Workflow, right? Yeah. And this is a trend that the whole SAP product line is basically going through. So everything is going to be box scenarios, including Integration Suite. So in Integration Suite, you're also able to model basically workflows and processes, and have things like sub-processes and stuff, right? So this is why we said, if you look at the boxes and arrows that you have in POL. Why not see if you can rebuild the whole thing as an iFlow, as boxes and arrows in Integration Suite? And that's what we did through a proof of concept, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we already started doing moving away from the POL to Integration Suite. So of course we ended up creating a lot of iFlows and then integrating all those things. So it is going well, and then we ran into the next challenge of how to do monitoring on a whole basis. So for monitoring in Integration Suite or cloud integration, it's on iFlow levels, but then for us the monitoring should be on the business process level and not on the iFlow level. So then we ran into the next challenge of how to do monitoring on those things. So we are exploring different possibilities. We're using Cloud ALM, using external monitoring tools. So we're also in the process of doing that as well.
You did not select a tool yet.
Cloud ALM, we are going to use it.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
the technical monitoring.
Yeah, technical, and also trying to see how to group these iFlows into business process and then do the monitoring from Cloud ALM.
Okay.
And then we are also seeing, okay, if we could use any other tools as an add-on or on top of Cloud ALM, if we could use any other tools to do the monitoring as well. So all these things are still under investigation, so it could change.
And what is the current tool that you use if you still look at integration in PO?
For the monitoring, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from Cloud ALM, we are looking into Splunk as well.
Yeah, but it's for like what you, because that's more cloud-based, right? So, if you look at the on-premise integration that you still have in place, do you also have a specific monitoring tool?
Solution Manager.
Solution Manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Operational Control Center component of Solution Manager.
Yeah.
That is being, but that is the clear example that we were saying, right? Jan was mentioning that you are into industry-specific thing and it's not the mainstream S4 thing, and you don't get things out of the box. So these iFlows that we are creating is all custom that we need to create. Otherwise, standard iFlows on APIs you can get on BTP, but in our case, none of them were there. So we need to start really from the A to go to the Z.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So things are similar, but also really different. That's a strange thing. Yeah. And so, where does an integration request arise in the Rabobank? Is it something from business? Is that something on technical side? If you want to connect to a different system, or how does this look like? If you have, is it an epic, or is it a request, or how does it work at Rabobank?
You mean from the implementation perspective?
Yeah, so there is an idea of, I don't think you just start building integrations. There is probably a request or a need for something to integrate.
Yeah, so for example, integration cannot sit on its own, right? Alone, it's always linked to some kind of a functionality that we need to realize. So that functionality, we have a change process in place. So business comes with the requirements, and then we do the refinement analysis, build some architecture around it, and then we define what integration points that we need to define, what integration points we can reuse, and that's how it goes in, and then it falls in the regular release cycle or the development cycle of backlog.
And that is still within your department, or is it also that you have cross-department developments or integrations?
Definitely we have basically. So for example, data reporting is one of the things, but we have a clear boundaries that we will do till this point, and then from there you take inwards. And within Rabobank we have a API management portal. It's called Kong. So application to application communication is enforced via APIs and via Kong. So our responsibility says if we need to expose some functionality, then we do it as an API and put it on Kong. And then if another application in a chain that wants to use, the API is available, they can consume that API, and also vice versa.
Yeah. Okay.
Also keep in mind that it's an extremely complex, we're talking about mortgages here, right? For instance. And the whole process of from applying to form a mortgage to having it approved, that's quite a thing. And I think
that's from
I can't even imagine how many business rules are invoked for just a simple mortgage application.
Mortgage is probably not simple, but even a loan, also for a loan, it's also you have to go to a lot of validations, I guess.
Yeah. So as you said, Dava was mentioning, so mortgages, we use mortgages for private loans basically, but we also have a commercial loans for the companies, and they are more complex than the particular.
They're even more complex.
Yeah, they are more complex. They are more conditions there. They are more kind of discounts and everything, but not everything that we need to do in the back office.
To be honest, I thought the consumer industry would be more there's so many regulations and that sorts of things in place, like the minimum amount that you have to earn and dates and how old you have to be in order to get a mortgage and stuff. I can't even imagine that a commercial loan would even have more business rules involved.
Yeah, definitely, because commercial loan can be like, okay, you have two partners and then you have a separation, you got split in the company. As a green organization, you get a green discount. If you are a certain limit, then you need to put this. So risk analysis, due diligence. But fortunately, these things are not in the scope of back office. They are in mid office or in front office. And when they fulfill all those things, then they decide to create a loan, for example. Then
but front office, mid office is a different department.
Yeah.
But they also probably have then integration scenarios in place to check all this. Or
definitely, they have the different type of integrations. And for example, you go to BKR. That's the first thing. So they have integration with BKR. So all these kind of
to the external systems. Yeah.
And from that perspective, our responsibility is once the loan is in, then we keep reporting those things to BKR, for example. That's one example. But we don't directly go to BKR to check. We need not to do it because that's the responsibility lies into another layer. And then they do it, and then they say, okay, no, this is fine, this is approved loan, and then it comes.
So there's also some sort of handover from front office to mid office to back office and vice versa and back again.
Logically, yes, but there is no physical or technical handover. So it's quite decoupled, as I said, because of the APIs are available. When they are done with their process, the last step would be to create a loan. So then they use our create loan API.
Exactly.
It comes in there. So
it's still straight through processing, all the way from front office into the mid office, into the back office, and then eventually the answer, the approval, or the quotation when it comes down to a mortgage, for instance, is going back to the customer again through all these layers again as well.
Yeah, so that's
automatically.
Disbursement which happens, then we raise the payment request basically towards notary, for example, disbursement.
So it's not only about integration like the solution, like the technical solution, but it's also integration between front office, mid office, and back office.
It's how do you call it? It's breaking down the silos.
Yeah, it is, and I can imagine the complexity if you have different departments and then making sure that all the APIs at the right time are available and to have this processing. But I can also imagine that then there is also some KPIs about when you start the process and until the very end, from front office, mid office, back office, that it should be within a specific time frame. Or?
As I said, that these layers are decoupled, so there is no one SLA, but the SLAs are defined on the layer itself.
Also back to your own team, and you have SLAs.
So for example, we have a SLA that all our, so in this case, so when you talk about mutation, it is like fire and forget. Then the SLAs are a bit more lenient there. But when you talk about the read services, then the SLAs are more stringent. So for us, I think it's like 90% of our read calls should go under 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
That's the response. And
fast, easy peasy for integration suite.
Yeah, we'll see.
The sales Jan coming up.
While driving from to SAP office, we were discussing the same thing. So we are building, but we have a challenge, or this thing will come to us, and then we need to see how it will, because this is the first time that we will have a taste of integration suite in production. So we are also curious and looking forward to it.
But it's easy peasy. I just heard from Jan. You can call Jan if there are any issues. Then just call.
What I say?
By the way, he lives in the center of Netherlands.
You can call Jan.
Center of the universe.
Jan.
Yeah, we concluded that Lelystad is actually the center of the Netherlands. It's right in the middle.
Depends on how you look at it.
I just heard the conclusion.
Yeah, I think Eindhoven is. At least for Rabobank.
Definitely not.
You are in the Rabobank office in Eindhoven.
Yeah.
But you also have a very big office in Utrecht. Is that then the IT part in Eindhoven and the other? What is the distinction?
No, it's not like that. So basically, half of our project sits.
Okay.
Not half of, like one of the team sits in Utrecht also, but most of the project location for our department is Eindhoven. So both are corporate office, and the base location could be Eindhoven, could be.
Okay.
Right,
yeah. So, how many people are working on integration at Rabobank?
Rabobank.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
At your department?
That could be easier.
Yeah, from our department, so when you look only at integration, then we have like 10 to 15 people working on integration. So it's not only on PIPO, or it's also working on the process object layer. Now they are also working on integration suite.
Yeah.
So it could be like easily, we have like 5 squads, and then easily that could be 2 person from each squad.
Yeah. Okay. And
And
then
how does it go with the folks that are working on PO or POL? Is it for them easy to get used to integration suite?
That was a nice challenge when we started the migration, or the phase when we wanted to move to integration suite. So we not only have PIPO developers, but we also have ABAP developers who are working on the process object layer. Process object layer was basically a ABAP based system. So we had the initial challenge of moving from ABAP development mindset to working in integration suite, cloud integration. So all the logics have to be defined in a mapping or in a Groovy or an XSLT. So we had the challenge initially, but then once we started working on it, then we got that confidence and then experience to develop more. And also now we have a lot of support from a related tools like Copilot and those things which we use in the bank. So that also helped us a lot and gives the confidence to work on that.
You mean Joule for developers, right?
No, not
Copilot. What's a Copilot?
but that's the shift that came also with this integration suite challenge that we took to replace Paul with integration suite. So this organically developed as a kind of a T-shaped profile within our developers. So they were initially focusing on ABAP. Paul was a ABAP system, so it was easier. But now we need all hands on the deck considering the timelines. So now everybody is contributing, and now all the, you say, except the basis people, all the technical people are integration suite consultant basically on our side.
Oh.
That's the positive in it.
Yeah. And so you
So
mentioned
it-
you
so-
mentioned the 2-letter word AI. So
Yeah, so the AI and also the way integration suite works. I mean, you just mentioned that everyone has made the move to integration suite. So that sounds like integration suite is something really easy to learn.
I would say yes. So initially, when you look from outside, it seems like as if it could be difficult. But then once you start working on it, then it becomes easier and easier. So I could already see that the phase when we started with the migration, it initially took more time to deliver something. But now I could see that the speed is going up, and people are more confident and find it easy to develop a solution in integration suite or cloud integration.
And if I'm not mistaken, Rabobank has purchased the premium edition of integration suite. So that means that all of the AI capabilities that we have in integration suite are also available to you.
The reason to get the premium version is different, not the AI.
Yeah, of course.
why?
iFlows, custom iFlows.
But it comes with AI. Your version comes with AI. Have you had cases where you wanted to use it already?
No, so basically as financial institution, not all AI agents are directly allowed in a bank. So this Copilot is just enabled, I think not long back. It's recently that they enabled it. So they have, again, as I mentioned, that they have their set of security posture and the compliance and governance. They go through it and then only it can be enabled. So we are in a process of talking to the AI competency within a bank to get it through and then get this examined and inspected and then get a kind of a stamp and then we can use it. So for
They can
now,
switch it on.
yeah. For now,
So,
it's
so for now, you switch it off basically.
yeah, so we are our own AI now.
You ever got tempted to just switch it on without their consent?
No,
It's not possible.
Don't ask questions that they can bring them into difficulties, right? No, let's not do that. And but then next to AI, clean core is also a topic right now that SAP brings to a lot of customers or to all our customers, and saying, hey, you have to make sure that you have a clean core, but you develop your APIs yourself. How is the topic of clean core resonating at Rabobank?
yeah, so you can take it as a bit a pinch of salt. We know that the kind of back-end system that we have, it's not everything standard out of the box. So we have banking services, but successor of that is TRBK, transactional banking, which is based on S4. And you see a lot of new developments are already happening, which we see it as a gap. So there are a few things when we talk to SAP, they say, okay, yeah, we consider it as a standard thing and we will develop it in standard, but only in the new platform, because then they can reap the benefits of the S4 and not the banking. For example, very simple example, in the banking services, what we have ISB, OData V2 is only supported, not even V4 supported. So that directly brings a lot of complexity in annotations and all those things. We tried that to make our own REST APIs, but then we saw the complexity and then said, okay, we don't do it. And then SAP accepted that, okay, they will anyways develop those things. So it's a matter of a time. We are currently in a transition phase. We are going to start the transition towards S4. So yes, we need to accept few things as a time being thing that, okay, we develop something custom, but when we go to S4, we will get them out. Few things they can also downport, but these are basically the functionalities that we need from the SAP and Rabobank perspective. But still there are few things which are Rabo specific where SAP will not develop them as part of the suite. So then we also have a side-by-side extension, not in SAP, but it's a Java-based platform that we have. Back in those, it was on Cloud Foundry. Now it's on Azure Kubernetes. So we have Java-based platform, and there we develop all the custom functionalities which are not part of our core, or not the core, but just the extensions. So for example, data extensions, few attributes you need to have for the reporting purposes, but no administration is needed on those.
But they run on the Azure platform, not on B2B.
No.
Okay.
So so there's also a history behind it. So we also looked into back in those days when SCP was there, not BTP.
SAP Cloud Platform,
Cloud Platform. Jan was, I think, involved there. He knows the history. But so back then the decision was taken to have our in-house platform, which is Cloud Foundry, to leverage this for this that part. So we have this. So we try to keep the core as clean as possible from the functionality point of view, with the collaboration in SAP, that what we can develop or what can be delivered as standard. But still there is a delta always there, which sits in there.
Rabobank was one of the first customers that I went to when we talked about Cloud Foundry and the SAP Cloud Platform back then. And then they said, nah, we're just going to make our own Cloud Foundry. It's not that difficult. You just take Cloud Foundry, you host it somewhere, and then you just go with it. And then eventually I met a couple of the folks of Rabobank that were responsible for running the Cloud Foundry operations at the Cloud Foundry Summit in Basel, in Switzerland, a very long time ago. And it's so funny because we basically run into the same issues with onboarding services and certifying them and making sure that end users are starting to use them and stuff. So it's kind of eye-opening. But it seems that you have left the Cloud Foundry environment in favor of public cloud?
No. So basically now we also have this different tribe culture that we have. So our tribe where we are positioned has chosen the AKS as a managed platform, as a PaaS service. So that was the direction from the strategic direction, that we will leave the Cloud Foundry for backend applications, for example. Still front-end application can be hosted on that one, and then we have to move to AKS.
So the Cloud Foundry environment is still around?
Still around.
Never got tempted to move to Cloud Platform or to the business technology platform, as you call it nowadays?
There would be a time where it comes where we'll re-look into this, but for now I think it is servicing us quite well. So
nice try. Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
It's HANA Café Nederland with your hosts, Jan and Twan.
So Dana, if you look at people that maybe want to start in the integration world, in the SAP integration world, what would be your advice if you do not have any experience right now, but you want to work in this integration area? What would be your advice?
It depends. So if people already have experience in another integration technology, then it would be easy for them. But then if people don't have any integration expertise at all, then they want to start from the scratch, then they have to put some more effort. So I would say it's not that difficult to put your hands on integration suite and then start learning it with cloud integration. It will take some time, so you will not be immediately in expertise in doing everything, but then it will take some time. But then with a lot of documentation and help and support from the community, then it will be very easy for them to learn it and then to start developing and then to be an expertise place. It will take some time, but then it is not that difficult.
So you would recommend the SAP community tutorials and guidelines that are available online?
Yes, exactly. So there are a lot of information and materials available. And of course, now we have all the copilots and AAs for our codes and as well. So for example, I use VS Code to do all the XSLT developments, and then it really helps a lot. We are in that culture that it's slowly moving towards the AI-based development. So we have to embrace that, and then that will really help us a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So you basically trained all your people based on community content. The content about the integration suite that's out there on the community sites.
Yes. So when we started to move away from the current poll and then start implementing integration suite. So then initially we trained the people with the basics of PI who doesn't even have experience in PI, and then we looked into all the community availables like blogs and all those things.
Did you do that centrally from your organization, or did you just tell people, well, the information is out there, go and learn?
Yeah, we had a group of people, and then we gathered, and then we helped each other in the learning process, and then each one took a specific area of, and then explore it on their own, and then come up back to the group and then explain what they have learned. And it's like learning together, so helping each other.
Yeah, sharing experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a knowledge chapters within our program. So BTP and integration is one of the knowledge chapter. And what Dava is saying is that we made this, or they kind of try to have this practice that, okay, not everybody learn everything, but okay, you go and you take a piece of it, you learn it, explore it, come back with your doubts and all your learnings, and that's how you shared it. Because the timeline that we were I think 1 year back, and the amount of work that we need to do was not compatible. So it was we didn't have a time to really go into the classroom trainings and all those things.
You need to divide the people, and
so we improvise, and then also the developers also came in, and then
it's nice. It's learning by the group. It's learning as a group, and then share it within the group. Yeah, within the colleagues. Okay.
That's funny that you mentioned the XSLT development as well, because when was
with Paul van Os?
Yeah, that he also mentioned. We have
a tool, but I forgot. Was it the same tool?
Maybe it's in the show notes of the previous podcast. But he mentioned a couple of tools that he's also using besides the integration suite, of course, to basically craft his integration flows, including a separate dedicated tool for
Stylish Studio.
Stylish Studio.
Stylish Studio.
Does it ring a bell?
Yeah, Stylish Studio is kind of a tool to develop XSLTs.
So you're using it too?
No, I'm not using it.
It was a tip from Paul.
It was a tip. He said it's very convenient, and I wouldn't work on integration without it anymore.
Okay. But then we also have a lot of different tools to do the same thing. So it depends on person to person what they like it. So I do use VS Code.
Potato.
Yeah.
Hey, Jan, looking at the time. It's time.
Oh, this is Jan's tough question.
Yeah, but I didn't think of a tough question. I've asked all my tough questions already.
Oh no!
So
but you had something with Kafka, right?
Oh no! Oh really? Okay, how's your Kafka and Avro support at Rabobank? I'm gonna duck under the table. Goodbye.
Oh, is it this late, or I have to leave the table?
Okay. Maybe what we do know is that Rabobank has been asking for Kafka and Avro support inside the integration suite, not as the only customer. And for what we've seen is that it's on the roadmap, but in product vision, and hopefully we'll be getting that forward a little bit. But I guess you guys are also not waiting for SAP to deliver everything that's in the roadmap, and are trying to direct these kind of things yourselves a little bit as well, and take ownership. What is it that you would recommend to customers that are in the same situation, are looking for Kafka Avro support but don't have it yet, and maybe they can learn from you on how you perhaps build workarounds or anything like that, if you did at all, by the way?
As I said, that we have a kind of a philosophy or principle that we don't want to have a workarounds in place, because you create a workaround for a short-term thing, but there is no short-term, right? Once it works,
I
learned forever.
About IT.
Then the focus is out.
There's no such thing like temporary.
Yeah, so we have basically current solution what we have, because we were not able to connect to our eventing platform, and we have a small proxy in place delivered by the provider, but there is no LCM on this. So that is another thing which I keep mentioning. And now it comes to, okay, do you want to do a workaround? Said already one workaround is there, it is working, but then the focus is gone because it is working. Until it breaks, nobody will talk about it. So at least till now, I am not encouraging. We are trying something, at least worst case scenario if we need to do something, but that's not our first attempt that to go for workaround. I'm now with the advice of Jan, trying to get a hold of product development team and to see what are the challenges or what are the reasons that it's not coming to a backlog, and if possible, then try to influence it from our perspective to get it into the backlog and have it a realized feature.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I was asking for Jan's tough question, but it was Gaurav's tough question to you.
It is.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I can derive another interesting question. It's of course how you work around that. But it seems that you have some proxy in place.
Yeah, that is for basically to go through the schema and having an MTLS connection in place. So that proxy was delivered by. So we have a platform delivered from Actual, and they said, okay, to enable you to move from the earlier version to the new version, we will deliver this, but we will not do any LCM. So at that time, we were like in a fix that we cannot even connect to that. So we have it in place.
And what does it expose a RESTful service or something?
Dava?
Yes, exactly. So they proxy the actual endpoint, and then they do it without MTLS. So we connect to this endpoint, which is not MTLS, and then the proxy will make connection to the actual endpoint with MTLS.
Yeah. So there's some sort of protocol conversion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a small layer which sits in between.
Yeah.
Just doing nothing, only to pass the connection with MTLS. Yeah.
And then it's starting to become something that is bothering you because there's probably no SLAs.
Yeah, so we also used AKS platform that I just mentioned about from the housing to host that proxy. So that's not just our problem, but also that platform problem, because they also see it as a red flag because there is no LCM. They can't do anything on this part. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, and
difficult enough, Twan?
It was difficult because I don't understand it.
Twan.
No, but also let's come to sort of the end of the podcast.
Let's go to the SB event calendar.
Exactly. It's a short one now. We're near approaching the end of the year. But next week is the VNSG focus group on security focus day on October 7 with Joris and probably his friends. Then we have the ABAP Cloud Developer Day also next week, October 9 at McCoy and Partners in Eindhoven. And of course, SAP TechEd November 4 to 6 in Berlin. You're going to SAP TechEd?
Not yet.
Not sure yet. Okay. No. Okay. If you're not going to SAP TechEd, then we have a very nice event in November 28-29 called SAP Inside TechEd the Netherlands in our own office over here. And that's also a community gathering on a Saturday where we recap SAP TechEd. So
okay.
Yeah.
So
nice.
For Inside Track, there's no excuse because you guys, you have a very busy day job, right? But the Inside Track is on a Saturday, so it's not in between anything that you're supposed to do on weekdays.
6-day week.
Hey, yeah. Well, it's 5-day work week and a 6-day of partying.
Okay.
Yeah,
with your fellow technology enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
All right.
That's how I see it.
Perspective. Huh?
So I thank you very much for giving us insights in how integration works at Rabobank, and a long history of integration and a lot of experience at the table. Thank you very much, Dana and Gaurav and Jan.
And Twan.
Yeah, and thank you for watching this episode of HANA Café or
Not
listening.
live. Not live,
but in the replay. And see you next time.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And that's a wrap for this episode of HANA Café Nederland. Jan and Tom, loved having you here. Drop us a line if you have any thoughts or want to be on the show. We'll be back soon with more SAP goodness. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.